It was supposed to be a simple act of kindness. But the night Noah stopped for a stranded stranger was the night his entire world shifted, one heartbeat at a time. Welcome back, my wonderful family and friends. If you're tuned in and ready to dive into today's story, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and drop a comment letting me know where you're watching from. Tomorrow, I'll be bringing you another exciting story you definitely don't want to miss. So, let's get started. The rain fell in silver sheets across the quiet highway, swallowing the road in blur and shadow. Noah tightened his grip on the steering wheel, his tired eyes blinking against the haze. He had worked late again, design revisions, client calls, the usual grind. His mind wandered between deadlines and the tiny apartment he hoped to reach before the storm flooded the streets. Then he saw it, a figure standing beside a stalled black SUV, hazard lights flickering. A woman, small, hood pulled low, soaked from the downpour. Noah's foot pressed the brake before he even thought. Kindness wasn't something he planned. It was instinct. He pulled over, stepping out into the cold rain. "Hey, are you okay?" he called. The woman turned. Even under the hood and the storm, her presence hit him like a pulse. Her voice trembled slightly. "My car died, and I can't get roadside service to respond." Something in her tone, soft, calm even in fear, made him pause. "It's all right," he said, offering a reassuring smile. "I can help." She hesitated, not because she didn't trust him, but because she was hiding something. "I'm Rina," she finally said. "Noah." When their eyes met, something subtle happened. A shift, a warmth loosening the edges of the moment. He checked the engine, tools clinking softly, rain dripping from his hair. "Your battery's completely gone," he said. "I can give you a jump, but in this rain, you'll still need a mechanic." Rina exhaled shakily. "I didn't expect the night to go like this. Storms rarely keep their promises." He smiled. She let out a quiet laugh. Genuine, soft, the kind people only make when they feel unexpectedly safe. Noah stepped back. "Look, there's a 24-hour diner a few blocks down. Warm lights, dry seats, strong coffee. I can drive you there if you want. You shouldn't wait out here alone." Something in her eyes flickered, gratitude and something deeper. Most men either tried to impress her or feared her. He did neither. He simply cared. She nodded. "I'd really appreciate that." The ride to the diner was quiet but comfortable. The storm hammered the city, but inside the car, it was only stillness. Noah stole a glance at her. She wasn't dressed extravagantly, simple clothes, humble demeanor, nothing hinting at the empire she controlled. She liked that. For once, she could breathe without a title. "You're not scared?" he asked gently. "I mean, getting into a stranger's car?" She met his eyes, calm. "No, you don't feel like a stranger." Something warm pressed against Noah's chest. He didn't know why, but the moment felt important. They reached the diner. Soft yellow lights glowed through foggy windows. When they stepped inside, warmth wrapped around them instantly. They sat across from each other, steaming mugs between their hands. "So," Noah said, gently teasing, "what were you doing out here alone at night?" Rina froze for half a second. A billionaire CEO can't answer that honestly. "Work," she said simply. "Rough day." She looked down at her cup. "You could say that." He didn't push. He didn't pry. He just nodded. "You don't have to talk about it. But if you need someone to listen, I'm pretty good at that." Rina blinked. No one ever said that to her without wanting something in return. Noah took a sip of coffee. "So, Rina, where were you headed?" She opened her mouth to lie, then paused. Why did telling him the truth feel tempting? "I was going home," she said softly. "But for some reason, I'm glad I didn't get there yet." Noah's breath caught. The rain outside softened to a whisper, as if giving them space. He smiled, not flirtatious, not calculating, just real. "Well," he said quietly, "I'm glad I found you." Her heart stuttered. He didn't know why those words mattered, but she did, because this kind stranger, this warm diner, this unexpected night, felt like the first breath after years of holding it in. And as she looked at him, she felt it. The shift, the quiet beginning, the spark that would rewrite everything. Rina didn't yet know that his kindness would change her life. Noah didn't know her truth would shatter his. But the night knew, the storm knew, and fate had already started stitching their hearts together. If you want to see how, the diner's soft jazz hummed through the air, blending with the gentle clatter of cutlery and the comforting glow of warm lights. Outside, the rain softened to a misty drizzle, painting the windows in blurred reflections. But inside, at the small corner booth under the hanging lamp, the storm no longer mattered. Noah leaned forward slightly, resting his elbows on the table. Rina watched him. Calmer now, more at ease than she had felt in months. He had that kind of presence. Grounded, unpretentious, kind without effort. So, Noah said with a hesitant smile, rough day at work. Do you want to talk about it? Rina stirred her tea slowly. How could she explain board meetings, shareholders, market projections, without revealing who she really was? It's just lonely, she said eventually. Lonely? Noah asked gently. You don't seem like someone who'd be alone much. She let out a small, surprised breath. Why not? You hold yourself like someone everyone wants to be around. Her cheeks warmed. If only he knew. People were always around her. But it was never because they saw her. Rina swallowed softly. Maybe people are around me, but that's not the same as feeling understood. Noah nodded slowly, the sincerity in his eyes almost disarming. I get that. A room full of people can feel emptier than being alone. She looked at him then really looked. This humble man with midnight brown eyes and rain-dampened hair understood her in ways billionaires, celebrities, and power players never could. Your turn, she said, shifting the focus. What about you? What's your story? Noah scratched the back of his neck, laughing lightly. A soft, nervous sound. I don't have anything impressive. Impressive is overrated, Rina said gently. He softened. Well, I work as a graphic designer. Mostly freelance. Mostly overworked. A grin. But I like it. You're passionate, she said. Yeah, I guess I am. I like creating things that make people feel something. Rina tilted her head. That's a rare gift. Noah's gaze flickered up to hers, and she felt the moment ripple. Something unspoken, something tender. But then his expression dimmed, just slightly. Not everyone sees it that way. What do you mean? He hesitated. Pain glimmered in his eyes. Quiet, old. My ex. She used to say my dreams were too small, that I didn't aim high enough. That being simple made me boring. Rina's jaw tightened. Simple isn't boring. Simple is honest. He smiled, slow, appreciative, as if those words wrapped warm hands around an old bruise. Thanks, he said quietly. Your turn, she said, shifting the focus. What about you? What's your story? Noah scratched the back of his neck, laughing lightly. A soft, nervous sound. I don't have anything impressive. Impressive is overrated, Rina said gently. He softened. Well, I work as a graphic designer. Mostly freelance. Mostly overworked. A grin. But I like it. You're passionate, she said. Yeah, I guess I am. I like creating things that make people feel something. Rina tilted her head. That's a rare gift. Noah's gaze flickered up to hers, and she felt the moment ripple. Something unspoken, something tender. But then his expression dimmed, just slightly. Not everyone sees it that way. What do you mean? He hesitated. Pain glimmered in his eyes. Quiet, old. My ex. She used to say my dreams were too small, that I didn't aim high enough. That being simple made me boring. Rina's jaw tightened. Simple isn't boring. Simple is honest. He smiled, slow, appreciative, as if those words wrapped warm hands around an old bruise. Thanks, he said quietly. They talked for almost an hour about books, films, what rain smelled like on warm concrete, what dreams they never admitted to others. Noah found himself laughing more than he had in months. Rina found herself smiling without thinking. Each moment unraveled something between them, thread by thread, breath by breath. But then, a vibration. Rina stiffened as her phone buzzed in her pocket. She didn't want to look. She didn't want her world to intrude. But the second buzz made her flinch. Noah noticed. Is everything okay? She forced a small smile. Probably just a work thing. She pulled out the phone and froze. Her driver, her assistant, her CFO. 3 missed calls. A dozen messages. The board is waiting. Your delay is concerning. Where are you? We're tracking a public security alert. CEO Rina Davenport, please respond. Her chest tightened. Her breath thinned. Noah noticed the shift instantly. The way her hand trembled. The way the color drained from her face. Rina? What's wrong? She locked the screen quickly, almost too quickly. She forced her voice steady. Nothing. Sorry. Just complicated stuff. Noah didn't push, but his brows folded with genuine concern. You're sure? I'm sure. She lied softly. Her mind raced. She should leave. She should go back to her real life, her real world. But she didn't want to. Not yet. Before she could gather her thoughts, the waitress approached. Refill? She asked kindly. Noah nodded. Yeah, thanks. The waitress turned to Rina. And for you, sweetheart? Rina hesitated, her voice barely above a whisper. Yes, please. Because staying here just a little longer felt like breathing after drowning. When the waitress walked away, Noah looked at Rina with an expression she didn't expect. Relief. I'm glad you're not rushing off, he said. It feels like, I don't know, like tonight wasn't supposed to end yet. Her heart turned over. Yeah, she said, her voice gentle. I feel that too. For a moment the world stilled again. Their eyes met. Soft, curious, magnetic. Something between them tightened, beautiful and frightening. Then, a loud knock on the diner window. Rina jolted. Noah turned. A man in a black suit stood outside in the rain. Expression fierce. Eyes locked on Rina. He lifted a phone, showing her screen, her full name, her title, her company. Rina's blood ran cold. Noah looked between them, confused. The man stepped closer to the glass. Then he mouthed clearly, We need to go. Now. Noah's heart sank. Rina's secret was about to explode. The man in the suit steps inside the diner, and Noah is about to discover Rina's world is far from ordinary. If you're ready for the truth to crack open, and for Noah's reaction to change everything, comment yes. The diner door swung open with a sharp chime, slicing through the warmth of the room. Conversations faded. Forks paused mid-air. The scent of coffee and fresh pie seemed to freeze in place. The man in the black suit stepped inside, shaking droplets from his umbrella. His gaze locked on Rina with laser precision. Ma'am, he said curtly, we've been trying to reach you. Rina felt every eye turn to her. Noah looked from the suited man to Rina, confusion knotting his features. Rina, what's going on? He asked softly. She swallowed hard. I can explain. The suited man, however, didn't wait. Your team is in a panic. You disappeared for 2 hours with no security escort and no communication. The board meeting. Stop. Rina's voice cut sharp, a tone Noah had never heard from her. The man stiffened. Yes, ma'am. Noah blinked. Ma'am? Rina inhaled, steadying herself. She turned back toward Noah, her voice gentler. I'm sorry. I didn't want this to crash into our night. Noah forced a small laugh, trying to stay calm. Okay. So, who is he? Your boss. Silence. The man in the suit spoke before she could answer. I'm her security liaison, sir. CEO Davenport cannot be unaccounted for, especially with Davenport. Noah repeated. His eyebrows shot up. Rina winced. Noah. Noah leaned back, shock flickering through him. Wait, Davenport as in Davenport Industries? As in the global tech? Rina closed her eyes briefly. Yes. Noah stared at her, stunned silent. The air thickened. Heavy. suffocating. Rina reached across the table, her fingers trembling. Noah, please, let me explain properly. He withdrew his hand instinctively, not harshly, just cautiously. You're a CEO? He asked, disbelief threading through his voice. All this time, you let me think you were just what? Rina whispered. Just like me. His voice cracked. Normal. Her chest tightened painfully. The suited man cleared his throat. Ma'am, we must go. Now. Rina shot him a warning look that could burn steel. Wait outside. He obeyed immediately, stepping back to the door. The diner noise slowly resumed, but Noah and Rina were wrapped in their own storm. Noah, she began, her voice cracking. I didn't lie to you. You left out a pretty big detail. Noah pressed his palms against the table. You're one of the most powerful women in the city, Rina. And you sat here pretending to be someone else. I wasn't pretending, she said, pained. I was being myself. For the first time in a long time. But Noah shook his head. His walls rising. His guard returning. Rina. People like you don't talk to people like me. She flinched. That's not true. It is to me, he whispered. There it was, his wound. Old, deep. The voice of his ex. The doubts. The insecurities whispering again. Rina reached for his hand again. Slower this time. Noah. Please don't shut me out. Tonight meant something. He exhaled shakily, torn between emotion and fear. It did, he admitted. But now it feels like I never really knew who I was talking to. His words pierced through her chest. I'm still me, she murmured. I'm still the woman who laughed at your jokes and felt at peace sitting here with you. But you also have an entire world behind you that I can't touch. She opened her mouth, but no words came. Noah stood slowly, placing money on the table for his coffee. I just need a minute, okay? Space to breathe. Noah, please don't walk away. His eyes lingered on her, sad, conflicted, before he stepped toward the door. He passed the suited man, who watched him warily. Rina's pulse pounded in her ears. Noah, she said again, her voice trembling. He paused. For one aching second, he almost turned back. Almost. But then he whispered, I'm not sure I'm enough for your world. And he walked out. The door closed behind him with a soft, devastating chime. Rina stood frozen, her breath shaking as the reality hit her like cold rain. She had wanted one night of normalcy, one moment of connection, but now Noah was gone, and she didn't know if she would ever get that moment back. Noah walks into the rain alone, unaware that someone else has been watching him too, someone who sees his connection to Rina as a threat. The rain fell harder as Noah stepped outside, drops sliding down his face like cold reminders of what he just walked away from. He shoved his hands deep into his jacket pockets, trying to breathe through the knot in his chest. Zio. The word echoed in his mind. Felt like a wall between them. Too tall. Too polished. Too impossible. He turned left down the sidewalk, just wanting space, distance. But fate had other plans. A black SUV rolled slowly beside him, tinted windows reflecting the streetlights. First, he ignored it. City vehicles always lurked somewhere. But then the window rolled down. Noah Brooks? A calm male voice called. Noah stopped, hesitant. Yes. Get in. Ms. Davenport asked that we take you home safely. Noah blinked. I don't need a ride. It's not optional. This time the voice was firmer. Noah's stomach twisted. Is that a threat? It's protection, the man said, expression unreadable in the shadows. There are concerns. What concerns? Noah demanded. Before he could answer, another voice rang out behind him. Tight, sharp, and unmistakably familiar. Noah! Rina came running down the wet sidewalk, umbrella forgotten, hair soaked, breath unsteady. Stop! She told the security driver. The man immediately stepped back. Rina reached Noah, rain dripping from her lashes. You shouldn't walk home alone right now. I'm fine, he said, though his voice was softer with her near. No, you're not, she said, shaking her head. And not because you're in danger. Because you're hurt. And I caused it. He looked away. Rina, you have a team watching you. A world orbiting around you. And then there's me. Don't do that, she whispered. Don't shrink yourself because of what I didn't tell you. He exhaled sharply. That's not it. Then what is it? She pressed gently. Thunder rumbled overhead. Finally, Noah met her eyes. I'm scared you'll wake up tomorrow and regret ever sitting with someone like me. Rina inhaled, the pain visible in her eyes. Noah, if I regret anything, it's not telling you sooner. I just wanted one moment in my life where someone saw me. Not my title, not my company, me. Lightning flashed across the sky. Just then, the SUV driver stepped forward again. Ma'am, he said urgently. We have a problem. Both turned toward him. What now? Rina asked, her voice tightening. The man hesitated only a second. Your personal residence was breached 20 minutes ago. Rina froze. Noah's heart seized. What? The driver continued crisply. We don't have confirmation if it was targeted toward you or related to the news leak about your meeting. Protocol demands immediate relocation to a secure location for the next 24 hours. Both of you. Noah blinked. Hold on. Why me? Because you were with Ms. Davenport when she was unaccounted for, the man replied. That makes you a potential target or leverage. Noah's pulse flipped. Leverage? Rina stepped closer. Noah, I'm not leaving you alone. Not if someone thinks you're connected to me. He laughed nervously. This is insane. Maybe, she said softly. But right now, we need to be somewhere safe. Lightning cracked again. The driver opened the SUV door. Both of you. Now. Noah looked at Rina. Her hair soaked. Eyes full of fear and something else. Something soft, vulnerable, pleading. He swallowed. Rina, are you sure? She nodded without hesitation. I need you with me. The words hit him like a warm force, cutting through the cold rain. Slowly, reluctantly, Noah climbed into the SUV. Rina followed, sliding into the seat beside him. The doors locked automatically, sealing them inside. The city lights blurred through the rainy windows as the SUV pulled away. For a long moment, neither spoke. Then Rina whispered, voice unsteady. Noah, I'm sorry you got dragged into my world like this. He looked at her, really looked. Her trembling hands, her worried eyes, her fragile breath. He reached out slowly, gently taking her fingers. I'm here, he murmured. For now, she exhaled shakily. That's more than I deserve. Outside, the city vanished behind them. Inside, tension mixed with fear, and a reluctant closeness neither could escape. Forced proximity, locked together, with danger closing in. Whatever happened next, they would face it side by side. But neither realized the bigger threat wasn't behind them. It was waiting ahead. As the SUV sped into the night, a dark sedan slipped into traffic behind them, following without headlights. The secure safe house wasn't a mansion or penthouse. It was a hidden, high-security apartment tucked on the 32nd floor of a quiet building overlooking the river. Minimalist, silent, too clean. Noah stepped inside first. His steps echoed softly across the polished floor. A chill crept over him, not from danger, but from the distinct sense that this was her world. Controlled, guarded, lonely. Rina entered behind him, wringing water from her hair. I'm sorry it's like this, she murmured. I know it's overwhelming. Noah crossed his arms lightly. That's one word for it. She flinched, and he regretted the tone instantly. He sighed. Rina, just tell me what's going on. Start from the beginning. She hesitated, breathing through the tension tightening her shoulders. Finally, she walked toward the tall window overlooking the city. Her reflection stared back, tired, weighed down, stripped of her composure. There's something I haven't told you, she said quietly. And it's not just about being a CEO. Noah leaned against the kitchen counter, watching her carefully. Okay, I'm listening. She tightened her jaw. My father built Davenport Holdings. But before he died, he uncovered something. Something dangerous. Noah's eyebrows pulled together. What do you mean? Rina swallowed. He found corruption inside the company. Not from outsiders, from people he trusted. Noah straightened. The board. Rina nodded slowly. He planned to expose them. But before he could, he had a heart attack. She paused. But it wasn't grief in her eyes. It was suspicion. You don't think it was natural? Noah said softly. Her silence was answer enough. Thunder rolled distantly through the night. I inherited the company, she continued, voice steadier now. And with it, the secrets he died with. I've been trying to find proof for months. Proof of what? That his death wasn't an accident. And that certain people in Davenport Holdings want me out of the way, permanently. Noah felt the air shift. So the break-in wasn't random, she finished. It was a warning. Noah ran a hand over his jaw. And I got caught in the middle. I never wanted that, she whispered, her voice cracking. I kept my world separate so no one could use it against me. Especially not you. He approached her cautiously, reading her trembling breath. Why me? He asked. What makes me different from the thousands of people you meet every day? Rina blinked, startled by the question. Because you didn't want anything from me. You weren't impressed by my name, or my company, or my power. She turned slightly, eyes soft and vulnerable. You treated me like a person, like someone who mattered. She exhaled shakily. And I've never had that. Not once. Noah's throat tightened. He touched her elbow gently. Rina, you've been alone for a long time, haven't you? Her breath caught. An involuntary reaction she couldn't hide. She looked out the window again. When my father died, the world didn't mourn with me. They circled like vultures. Everyone wanted something. Everyone wanted control. She closed her eyes. So I learned to smile, to command rooms, to never show weakness. Because weakness gets devoured. Noah's chest ached painfully. He had never seen her look so small. He stepped closer, but she didn't move away. After a long moment, she whispered, Tell me about you, Noah. You know everything about me now. I know almost nothing about you. He chuckled, but there was no humor in it. There's nothing complicated to tell, he said. Not like your world. She turned to him fully. Tell me anyway. He breathed out slowly. My mom died when I was 12, he began. Rina stilled. She was the softest part of my life. After she passed, everything got harder. My dad wasn't cruel, but he was empty. He worked constantly, never home, barely spoke. I learned to cook for myself, learned to keep the house running. His voice tightened slightly. I learned what loneliness feels like. Rina's eyes glistened with empathy. Noah continued. I worked after school, saved every penny. I didn't have fancy opportunities. I didn't have connections. But I had pride. And I worked for everything I own. He met her gaze directly. That's why your world scares me. Because I'm terrified of being swallowed by it, of being insignificant in it. Rina stepped toward him, closing the space between them until only inches remained. You are the least insignificant person I've ever met. Silence wrapped around them, heavy and intimate. Noah breathed her in. The faint scent of rain, the warmth of her closeness, the unspoken ache between them. Their faces were close, too close. But before either of them could speak, a sharp metallic beep echoed from the control room. Rina froze. Noah tensed instinctively. A security guard rushed into the living area. Ma'am, he said urgently. We detected an unauthorized device in the ventilation system. Rina paled. A device? What kind? His jaw tightened. A listening device? And possibly more. Noah's stomach dropped. How long has it been there? He asked. The guard hesitated. Long enough. Rina grabbed Noah's arm, fear flooding her expression. Noah. Someone knew we'd come here. The guard lifted a small, black, blinking object from his palm. Ma'am. This wasn't placed to spy. He swallowed. It was placed to track. Rina's breath shattered. Noah tightened his grip on her hand. Tracked by who? He asked. The guard looked up. With respect, sir. Whoever it is, they're already on the way. Who do you think planted the tracker, the corrupt board, a hidden enemy, or someone closer to Rina? Comment your theory. Rina didn't know where to look. Noah's penthouse was nothing like the quiet cafes and cramped apartments she was used to. Everything shimmered glass, chrome, soft gold lighting that felt almost unreal. But Noah, he looked strangely nervous. He led her to the balcony overlooking the entire city. The lights stretched endlessly, like stars poured onto earth. Rina, he began softly, you've been through too much alone. Let me help you get back on your feet. She blinked, confused. You already helped me, more than enough. You didn't have to let me stay here tonight. I know, he said, stepping closer. But I want to do more. She tensed. People always wanted something in return. Always. So when Noah pulled out a slim envelope, her heart dropped. Not this. Before you assume anything, Noah said gently, noticing her expression. It's not what you think. She opened it. Inside was a fully paid one-year scholarship to the Design Institute she had been dreaming of for years. Something she never even told him about. Her throat tightened. How did you know? Noah hesitated. I looked into your work. I saw your portfolio. You're talented, Rina. You deserve a chance. Rina took a step back, overwhelmed. Why would you do this for me? You barely know me. Noah's jaw flexed like he was holding something back. Something heavy. That's not exactly true, he said quietly. Her eyes narrowed. What does that mean? He looked away, gripping the railing. Rina, there's something I haven't told you. Something important. Her pulse spiked. Was he married? Engaged? In trouble? A criminal? She stepped closer, breath uneven. Noah, what are you hiding? He finally met her eyes. It's time you knew who I really am. The air between them thickened, tense, expectant. Like the city itself was holding its breath. Rina stared at Noah, waiting for an answer that suddenly felt dangerous. He ran a hand through his hair, pacing once before stopping in front of her. Rina, my real last name isn't Hayes. She frowned. Okay. So what is it then? It's Hartwell. Her eyebrows knit together. Hartwell? Like the tech company? Hartwell Innovations. He nodded once. Rina's stomach dropped. Hartwell Innovations wasn't just any company. It was one of the world's biggest. A giant responsible for half the apps people used every day. So you're what? Some executive there? She asked carefully. Noah exhaled. I'm not an executive. She swallowed hard. Then who are you? His eyes locked on hers. Steady, sincere, unflinching. I'm the owner. The world tilted. Rina felt the balcony spin around her. Owner? Of one of the largest tech empires in the world. No, she whispered. That can't be true. You drive an old car. You dress so simple. I never wanted people to treat me differently because of money, Noah said. So I stayed low profile. I needed to know who saw me, not my wealth. The scholarship suddenly felt heavier in her hands. Then why me? Why would someone like you want to help someone like me? His expression softened, almost vulnerable. Because you remind me what it means to be real. When you talk, when you dream, you're not pretending. You're not trying to impress anyone. A beat. You're the first person I've met in a long time who makes me feel human. Rina's breath hitched. But then something else hit her. Something darker. If you're really a billionaire, she said slowly, then that means the night you helped me, the break-in at your company, the men chasing you. Noah went still. Rina's voice trembled. Noah, what exactly did you get me involved in? Noah stepped closer, lowering his tone. I didn't want you to find out this way. Find out what? He swallowed hard. Someone's trying to destroy everything I've built. And now. He glanced toward the penthouse door as footsteps echoed faintly in the hallway. His eyes widened. Rina, get behind me. Now. Rina froze as the footsteps outside the penthouse grew louder, slow, deliberate, almost taunting. Noah moved in front of her, every muscle tense. "Don't make a sound," he whispered. A shadow slipped across the gap beneath the door. Rina's pulse hammered in her ears. But then, ding, the elevator chimed, and the footsteps faded into it. Whoever was there, left. Rina exhaled shakily, collapsing onto the couch. "Noah," she whispered. "What is happening to you?" He sat beside her, rubbing his face. "I didn't want you in danger, but keeping you in the dark, that was worse." Rina studied him, his tired eyes, the weight in his shoulders. For the first time, he looked like someone terrified of losing everything. "Tell me the truth," she said softly. "All of it." He hesitated. Then he began. 2 months ago, I discovered a leak inside my company. Someone high-ranking was stealing proprietary research, AI designs that could shift global power balances. He traced the sabotage back to a covert group trying to infiltrate Hartwell Innovations. "They want control of my tech," Noah said. "And when I refused to play along, they came after me." Rina swallowed. "And the night they chased you? I was meeting with someone who claimed to have proof." His voice cracked. "He died before he could give it to me." A chill swept through her. "And me?" she whispered. "How did I fit into all this?" Noah turned to her fully, genuine, vulnerable. "You didn't fit in." A soft breath. "You saved me." Rina blinked. "I saved you. That night when I crashed into you outside the cafe, you delayed them. They saw a witness. They backed off. If you hadn't stepped between us, I might not be alive." Her chest tightened. "That wasn't bravery. I was terrified." No, his eyes softened. "You were human, and you acted out of instinct to protect a stranger. That meant more than you think." Silence settled, warm this time, not tense. Rina looked away, cheeks heating. "You shouldn't put me on a pedestal. I'm not that special." "Rina?" Noah reached for her hand, pausing just before touching her. "You're the most real person I've met." Her breath hitched. Then, he gently intertwined his fingers with hers. A fragile, intimate moment bloomed between them. Quiet, emotional, electric. Rina sat back, letting her head rest on his shoulder. For the first time since the chaos began, Noah let himself relax. Just a little. Their breathing fell into rhythm. Her voice was barely a whisper. "Noah, if they're after you, won't they come after me too?" He exhaled. "That's why I have to keep you close." She lifted her head. "What does that mean?" Noah opened his mouth to answer. "Knock, knock, knock." Rina flinched. 3 slow knocks. Not a neighbor. Not friendly. Noah's expression hardened instantly. He stood, pulling Rina behind him. Then a voice on the other side of the door spoke. Cold, calm, male. "Noah Hartwell, we know you're inside. Open the door." Rina's heart dropped. Noah whispered, "Stay behind me no matter what happens." She grabbed his arm. "Noah, who is that?" His answer came like ice. "The man who betrayed me." The door shook violently as the voice called again. "Noah Hartwell, open up, or we'll break it down." Noah pressed Rina behind him, fists clenched. "This is him," he whispered. "The one I trusted most." Rina's mind raced. Betrayal, fear, confusion. She gripped his sleeve. "Who is he?" Before Noah could answer, the door splintered. A tall man in a dark suit stormed in, armed with authority and menace. "Adrian." Noah's voice cracked. "You?" Adrian smirked coldly. "I trusted you to protect the company, Hartwell. And now, look where you've let it fall. Right into my hands." Noah's heart pounded. You set me up?" Adrian's laugh echoed through the penthouse. "Set you up? I saved you from making bigger mistakes. You've been hiding secrets from everyone. Even from her." Rina stepped forward. "Secrets? From me?" Noah shook his head frantically. "Rina, please don't listen to him. He's manipulating you." But the doubt had already crept into her heart. She looked at Noah, then at the man she thought she could trust, then back at Noah. Her chest felt heavy. Was everything he told her a lie? Adrian's grin widened. You thought this little romance was real? It was convenient. Your kindness, her feelings, perfect cover for your failures, Noah. Or have you forgotten who I am? Noah froze. His past, his mistakes, the company's vulnerabilities, it all came crashing down in Rina's eyes. Rina, he tried again. You have to trust me. He's twisting everything. She shook her head. I don't know what to believe anymore. The man, Adrian, stepped closer, his voice low and threatening. Time's up, Hartwell. Either you hand over the files or everyone you care about pays the price, including her. Rina felt the room spin. She clutched Noah's arm, but her fear was mingled with anger. You lied to me. How can I trust you now? Noah's throat tightened. I didn't lie about us. You have to believe that. Adrian's hand flicked toward a hidden control panel. Lights flickered, alarms blared, and the penthouse security doors began locking down automatically. Panic set in. Rina's eyes met Noah's. Hope, love, fear, all colliding. Noah whispered, We have to move. Now. As they sprinted toward the private elevator, Adrian's laughter echoed behind them. The elevator doors began to close, just as Adrian triggered a second alarm. The lights went out. Smoke hissed from the vents. Rina gasped. Noah. What's happening? He pulled her close, gripping her hand. Hold on to me. I'm not losing you. The elevator jolted violently. The floor shuddered. And then everything went black. Are Noah and Rina trapped? Will Adrian get what he wants? Or will their love survive the ultimate betrayal? Comment below what you think will happen next. Will Noah save Rina? Or will Adrian succeed? Don't forget to subscribe to Philia Heart. The elevator jolted violently before grinding to a halt. Darkness enveloped them, smoke curling through the vents. Rina coughed, clutching Noah's arm as he pressed his hand over her mouth. Stay calm, Noah whispered. His voice trembled slightly, betraying his own fear. We'll find a way out. Rina's heart raced, not just from panic, but from the confusion swirling between them. His secrets, Adrian's betrayal. Everything felt like a storm closing in. Why didn't you tell me everything? She demanded, her voice raw. About the company, about Adrian, about your past? Noah swallowed hard, struggling for words in the smoke-filled darkness. I wanted to protect you. I still do. If you had known, you'd be in danger. And now, his voice broke. Now I have to ask something impossible. Rina's chest tightened. What is it? He looked into her eyes, desperation mixing with love. I need you to trust me, to choose me, even after everything. Even if the world is falling apart, even if Adrian's threats are real, will you stand by my side? Tears pricked Rina's eyes. She had been torn between fear, anger, and the undeniable pull of her heart. Every memory of his kindness, his laughter, the quiet moments between them. Everything was alive again. She began, but the elevator shuddered again, knocking them off balance. Smoke thickened. Alarms blared. Time was slipping away. Noah gripped her shoulders, eyes pleading. Rina, I can't do this without you. I need your choice. Right now. Rina's mind raced. The logical part screamed to flee, to abandon the man she couldn't fully trust. But her heart refused to let him go. She remembered how he had been there for her, how his care had always been genuine, even when the world felt like it was against them. She reached up, touching his cheek, her fingers trembling. I choose us, she whispered, her voice fierce yet fragile. I choose you, Noah. A flicker of relief crossed his face. He pulled her close, holding her as the elevator shuddered violently one last time. Then, a sharp metallic sound. The door beside them began to pry open. Adrian's silhouette appeared, smirk etched across his face. You think it's that easy? He hissed, stepping into the smoke-filled elevator. Noah tightened his grip around Rina. This ends tonight, he growled. Adrian's eyes gleamed with malice. Then let's see if love is strong enough to survive betrayal, Hartwell. Smoke and shadows enveloped them. The elevator lurched. Sparks flew. Their fates hung in the balance. Will Noah and Rina survive Adrian's ambush? Can love truly withstand the ultimate test of trust and betrayal? What would you do if you were in Rina's shoes? Comment your thoughts below and hit subscribe to Philia Heart. The smoke cleared. The elevator doors had jammed, leaving sparks sizzling at the edges. Noah pressed a hand to Rina's back, shielding her as Adrian advanced. His presence was a threat, but Rina felt something stronger, her choice, her trust, her love for Noah. "Noah, what do we do?" she whispered, her voice steady despite the chaos. He took a deep breath, eyes narrowing. "We end this together." With a sudden burst of courage, Noah lunged forward, pushing Adrian back. Rina grabbed the emergency lever, prying the elevator doors further open. Sparks flew as metal screeched, and the air was thick with tension. Adrian tried to strike, but the combination of Noah's determination and Rina's quick thinking created a momentary advantage. In a final confrontation, Adrian stumbled, tripping over a fallen panel, and the alarmed security team, summoned by the building's emergency protocol, rushed in, restraining him. Noah exhaled, pulling Rina close. Her hands found his face, her eyes glistening. "We made it," she whispered. He held her tight. "We did, because we chose each other. Through fear, through lies, through everything." The tension melted into relief as sirens faded. The city lights outside the elevator glimmered like stars, reflecting their triumph. Rina rested her head against Noah's chest, finally feeling safe, loved, and understood. Later, at their favorite quiet spot overlooking the skyline, Noah took Rina's hands in his. "There will always be challenges. Secrets may linger, the world may interfere, but we've proven that love, real love, can survive anything." Rina smiled, her heart full. "Then let's never let go." Noah smiled back, lifting her hand to his lips. "Never." They stood together, two hearts intertwined, stronger than the shadows that had tried to tear them apart. Noah and Rina's journey ends with trust restored, love solidified, and the villains thwarted. The story echoes the central event of the power of unexpected connection and vulnerability, but now fully transformed. Their bond is permanent, their hearts aligned, and their future hopeful. Though the immediate danger is gone, the world remains unpredictable. Their love has been tested and proven that even in chaos, love can prevail. Do you think Noah and Rina's love will face new challenges? Or is this the happily ever after? Comment below with your thoughts, and make sure to subscribe to Philia Heart for more billionaire love stories and emotional twists.